Let's clean the place up, get started, get to work, go through the commitment of traders report, go through the calendar for risk events, and then do some trades if we can. Hope you had a nice weekend, did something interesting. I spent the weekend at Space Camp. Lots of rockets. Let me remind you that trading Forex is risky, not appropriate for everyone. Your past performance, good or bad, is not necessarily indicative of future results. So please always stay small, stay humble, focus on the long term, and never risk money you cannot afford to lose, eh? Ohio, which in Japanese means good morning. My name is Wayne McDonell. I'm the Chief FX Market Strategist for TradersWay.com. We're an ECN. We pass your trades into the interbanking system. We do it fast. We do it affordably. We're good for you, and you're good for us. And we want to collaborate and work together with you. That's why we develop these sessions every day. We want to provide you with skills and confidence. Maybe not today. Maybe it takes a while to build confidence through consistency, meeting every single day, talking about the markets, talking about the charts, talking about the fundamentals, lining up all these different short-term, medium-term, long-term strategies. And once part of them start to work, or maybe some of them start to work, and things start to look really good on your demo account, which is available at TradersWay.com, and you're ready to trade real money, maybe you'll choose us to be your prime broker for your successful Forex trading business. So we kind of look like, we kind of consider it investing into you up front. Hope you're successful, dude. So we do these sessions every day, 7:30 in the morning, Monday through Thursday here at Forex.Today, and every Friday at FX Street, where I am Speaker of the Year for 2016. But anyways, thank you for your loyalty. That's what that means. Thank you for your loyalty. I understand what it means. Let me fire up my charts. Okay, so what do we do on Monday? Should we just sit down and wing it? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Now, Friday is a holiday. Booyah! Monday is a holiday. And that is good. It's Good Friday. So we have a short week here. Got to keep that in mind. There's Grandma yelling. I'm changing my mind right now. Doesn't that what that picture looks like? Yeah, I think I made a big mistake. I shouldn't have said that. Looks like Tyler and Maddie and Katie, we already got lots of trading ideas up there. Thank you, guys. USD yen triple bottom, huh? You like that? Yeah, coming up to the triple bottom. Yeah, very nice. Nice pose, Tyler. Yeah, so you trap it in a range, breakout, pullback. Yeah, I like that. That's cool. Very, very nice post. Love it. Great post. Thank you. Thank you very much for your hard work. So are you guys giving these analyst feedback like that? I mean, how long does it take to write a post like that? what, 3 hours? I appreciate that. Nothing takes 10 minutes. Excuse me. All right, so here's the calendar. Hope you guys are using the calendar, right, to plan your week. Don't you think that's an important routine? One of the things I enjoy, and I don't get to do it very much, but when I do get the chance, I enjoy it a lot. And that's going to a PGA tournament. That's Professional Golfers Association, right? So professional golfers, they're at a tournament, and I live in Atlanta, so they actually have like the Super Bowl of golf here in Atlanta. So I've been, sat in the VIP tent. They give you lots of booze and lots of food. Pretty cool. Anyways, that's all fine and dandy. That's fun. But what I actually enjoy is getting there early and watching the golfers warm up. And every golfer, along with their caddy, has a pre-tournament warm-up, pre-round warm-up, where they go out to the driving range and they hit maybe 3 shots with every iron. They hit a few with the driver. They chip out. They get out of the sand a few times. They do some flop shots and some bump and rolls, and then they do some putts and it's I don't know. It's enjoyable. I love the pre-event routine, and it makes me think of what is my routine before I sit down for the day or sit down for the week. And then I started Googling and YouTubing, and you start to find some really interesting resources on how professional athletes prepare for big games and how they stay in shape in the postseason, and things how they prepare mentally, not just physically. It's very interesting research. I highly recommend it. So getting back full circle here, what's your pre-trading routine that you do in the morning or on Mondays or at the beginning of the month or beginning of the quarter? Remember at the beginning of January, I asked you to make one PowerPoint presentation slide for 2 or 3 currencies that you would like to trade. And on that slide, you tell us whether you're bullish or bearish on that currency. So like US dollar, what are you, bullish or bearish? And 3 bullet points why you're bullish or bearish. At the beginning of the quarter, the beginning of the year, why wouldn't you do something like that, right? And of course, if you're not doing stuff like that, maybe you should fall out of your chair right now and say, holy smokes, eh? I got something I need to do. Something needs to be done. Yes? No? Does it sound like a foolish thing to do? Oh, that's foolish. Completely unnecessary, Wayne. Well, So I really enjoyed that type of research. Mental and physical preparation for tournaments, in particular important tournaments. And so I helped coach in an engineering team that went to Science Olympiad, and we've been invited to the state championship. So there I am with 10-year-old engineers, and their job was to build a bridge, but they don't really, they tell you get 50 straws and a meter of tape, but you don't know what type of straws or how long the straws are going to be, and all these things when you get into bridge building impacts the design, and because it can only hold so much weight, and the farther out you go, the more it's going to torque and twist and turn and bend, and so you don't know how long the straws are going to be, and it changes the math, dude. Math don't lie. So it's a lot of pressure. Oh, and as a coach, I'm not even allowed to go in the room when they actually perform it, when they build the bridge under time, right? It's amazing. Lots of stress for a young kid. So anyways, so before we went in, we actually sat down and we did a visualization exercise, and we went step by step by step, building the bridge together. They moving their hands. Okay, what's next? Oh, well, we need to build the struts. Okay, well, how many straws for the struts? Well, we need 2 for that strut, 2 for that strut, 2 for that strut, 2 for. All right, how many triangles are we going to build? All right, how many triangles or how many straws go in each triangle? Okay, well, boom, boom. All right, let's do the base now. We went through the whole thing and they went in and boom, they aced it. Pachow, pachow. So again, what's your pre-shot routine? Can you visualize your trade before you even take it? And also, how about this? Ask yourself, right before you pull the trigger, how long have I been waiting for this trade? You know what I mean? How long have you been waiting? Oh, I just saw it now. Right? Shouldn't that be a red flag? Oh my God, look at that trade. I gotta, oh, wait. Oh, wait. No, I don't need to do that trade. No. I'm missing it, dude. I'm missing it. Okay. Right? Well, that was your what's your grand plan, Stan? What about space camp astronauts need to prepare? I guess so. They say the training weeds out everybody. Now, I worked at NASA for 2 years, and I can confirm that they don't take slouches. But they also want team players too. So the training weeds out all the dum-dums, so everyone there is brilliant. But it also weeds out the individuals. If you're not a team player, you're out. And that's very difficult because the pilots they get are like Top Gun guys. These are alpha males, and you got to get one that's just leading edge enough to get you through and find a way and have unbelievable survival skills and crazy levels of confidence, but just enough to not kill everybody by breaking the rules, right? Hey, you worked at NASA out there? That's cool. Yeah. So, but yeah, it's the way that you just there's just a fine line of. So anyways, yes, they absolutely. Now I'll give you another example if you don't mind because it is important. I wasn't planning on talking about this today, but it is important. Do you guys know who the Blue Angels are? Oh, the Glen. Yeah, cool. I was at the Ames Research Center in Mountain View, California, the one with the giant wind tunnels. All right, so the Blue Angels are the Navy's FA-18 fighter pilot exhibition team. Where the planes fly like 3 inches from the other plane at high speed, and then they break off and they do all their things at the air shows. You're clearly not slouches, right? Yeah, they're Navy. Oh yeah, FA-18 Hornets, absolutely. So unbelievable. Just YouTube that sucker, right? Blue Angels, and watch something, and that's where 5 or 6. I actually used to throw a jet plane and champagne party at the top of a skyscraper in San Francisco, and the planes would come by so close, flying right past. You could actually see the pilot, and we would toast them with champagne. It was great. But anyways. These guys are the best, and they are flying at either really fast speed or low speed, or they're doing barrel rolls, and I mean they're totally the best pilots in the world because they're flying like this 6, 7, 8 planes just inches away from each other, right? And what they do every single time before they perform, they sit down in a conference room. A few hours before they go out, they sit down. And they all sit down around this table. And the lead dog, Alpha pilot, he's at the front of the table, and they close their eyes, they bow their head almost like in prayer, and they fly. And they press all the buttons, they do all the foot movements, they're handling the joysticks, they're sometimes they have to open their eyes because they have to time everything. On 3 and 2, break, roger that, 20-degree roll, right? And they go through the whole process. They actually fly with their mind. And I spend probably, 20% of my book that I wrote a long time ago talking about this, that your brain actually doesn't know the difference of whether you're flying or thinking about flying. Because your brain is housed inside your head. and it has no access to the outside world. So you grow some eyeballs to bring in some electrical chemical energy, right? That says, all right, here's what the light is doing, and then you have ears that bring in sound and say, well, and then that gets converted to electrical chemical energy and says, well, this is what we hear. This is the air pressure around you, and then we have touch and all these things, but really your existence, your soul, if you will, is inside your body. And it doesn't really know the difference, because by the time when you're thinking about it, all you're doing is creating electrical chemical energy. Like when you dream, you see images, don't you? When you close your eyes, you can think about your childhood, can't you? Where you used to go down to the fishing hole, where you fish with your papa. I love you, papa. Right? You can see the image, right? Your brain doesn't know whether you're looking at it. It doesn't know if it's taking in light source and converting that to electrical chemical energy. So, if it's important for top athletes, if it's important to top fighter pilots in the world, so on and so forth, it should be important to a trader. And if you're running around just firing trades left and right, like, look at that, I want to take that, look at that, I want to take that, oh, I'm going to miss that, versus sitting down and actually planning and looking at it and visualizing, say, okay, I know this. This is a double bottom. It's made a higher high. I'm visualizing now that it's going to come down, make a higher low at a roll reversal. I'm going to drop into a 5-minute. I'm going to see it cycling up. I'm going to take the shot. I'm going to put the stop down here, so on and so forth. And you should be able to go through the 8 steps of taking a trade 2, 3, 4 hours before it happened. And then when you actually do see it happen, you say, man, I've been waiting for this for 2 or 3 hours. I see it. I got the green light. I'm at the roll reversal. 5-minute looks good. Taking the shot, dropping the stop. And that's hardcore. And then journaling it. So in my book, I talk about visualizing it first. The second one is actually doing it. That's second. Third one is documenting it. And what's the fourth one? At the end of the week, reliving it again. My strategy in the book, I guess if you want to call it that, or the message in the book, is at the end of 1 year of doing this, you'll have 4 years of experience. Versus the idiot that just sits there all day firing off shots, hoping that if he makes 1,000 stupid shots by the end of the year, he'll be a good trader. No, you'll just have perfected stupid shots and poor trading, and I don't think that's going to lead to money, honey. Okay, so there's the neuro-linguistic programming for the day. But I honestly believe it. So really, you could think about my book as a lot about technical analysis. There's some fundamentals in there. There's a lot about what I went through to become a successful trader, like business planning and stuff. But probably half the book is also neuro-linguistic programming, how to reprogram your brain to become a successful Forex trader. The first thing I talk about in the book is that we're all entrepreneurial. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur's entrepreneur. I was semi-famous before Forex because in the entrepreneurial world. And I realized you'd have to be insane to want to be a currency trader. So what kind of psychopath, masochistic psychopath would want to be a currency trader like me? Because if you told anybody that there's like a 95% chance of failure, most sane people would laugh and walk away. Hey, do you want to become a currency trader? 95% chance you'll lose. Oh, dude, whoa. Right? So here we are, all of us. You're insane. There's something seriously wrong with you. By the way, that's a Ghostbusters quote. Right? So, but that brought us all here. We're all twisted in the same entrepreneurial way. But I also realized that the guys at the top, central bankers, commercial bankers, and trading desks and stuff, in the real world, they're not cowboys like you think. These are math geniuses they're not entrepreneurs at all. They're anti-entrepreneurs. So what are we going to do as a community of entrepreneurs that have gathered in the foreign exchange industry? What are we going to do to survive? And I say that we need to learn how to harness that entrepreneurial energy and drive and tenacity and even flexibility and dedication and sacrifice, but we need to learn to harness it so that it's not, it doesn't, see, we're used to taking risk, and in Forex, risk is bad. So we have to channel all the good things about being an entrepreneur and then say, but risk is bad, we need to be risk averse. And it's a bit of a mind change. It's quite a mind change. Okay? And that's why it takes long, because technical analysis is easy. How long does it seriously going to take you to learn technical analysis? What, a year? 6 months for some, 18 months for others. So let's say on average a year. What's the big deal? Nothing, right? Right? If you practice at Forex as much as your kid practices a skateboard trick, right? How many times did your kid try that kick flip? 2,000 times? 4,000 times? So anyone could do it, even a kid, right? So what's the big challenge? And the big challenge is all the mental stuff, right? How to be an entrepreneur with all the good parts of being an entrepreneur, and it's almost all good. And then how do you then, harness risk and control it versus accept it and use it? Because when you accept it and use it, okay, it don't work. So that's what I recognized, back in the day when I went on my first business planning retreat and stuff like that. I realized what was happening. And I said, so let's plan our week, okay? Let's harness this risk. When we plan our week, it's risk, and risk is opportunity, but it's also a threat. Okay, and you got to be careful. Yes, Miles, that's exactly correct. The entrepreneurial spirit that brought us here is the same that could drag us down. I don't know if you just said that or if I wrote it, but either way. Okay. Going to have Governor Stevens speaking. Is he going to talk the Aussie down? Remember, New Zealand's dragging their currency down. Maybe it's making Aussie over strong. Who knows, huh? Well, I remember buying it at 79 with the target of 87. We're still at 85, so that's cool. IFO, it's amazing. Like, do we still care about these things? I guess. I mean, we want right. 105.7 was the last. We're looking at 106.1. Okay, great. So what if it comes out 105.9? Let's, as long as it's on trend, but negative interest rates. How long are we going to keep at negative interest rates? So far, Draghi says he's done, waits 2 meetings, lowers again, then says he's done, waits 2 meetings, lowers again. So I don't know. So is the business IFO, is it going to be a big market mover? Well, I guess if it's like 106.5 or something like that, maybe. Okay, UK Consumer Price Index. Yes, okay. We've been waiting for the end of the first quarter, and we're getting pretty close, right? And we're expecting better and better and better data out of the UK. And surprisingly, bing, we're starting to get pretty good data out of the UK. How surprising. Okay. So some good CPI data would be interesting, right? And it comes down to, when are we going to count oil? Remember, oil's been down and 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 down for years. And all of a sudden it went from 25 to 40. What percentage change is that? It was $25, then it goes up $15. Yeah. Yeah, right? Hey? So, right? So that's a big percentage change. And at some point, that's going to be folded into our CPI, wouldn't it? Month over month, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I. You know what I mean? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Folded in, I. So that's going to be a big CPI booster, right? It's going to surprise people because it's really complicated, right? Because it doesn't seem like much. It's only $15. Yeah, but when you're only $25, it's a big deal. German Zoo, yeah, you know, it's sort of in there. I guess Zoo is probably better than IFO. Okay. It was one. They're forecasting 6.3. Seems like there's a large margin of error on that one, but whatever. UK retail sales. This is going to drag. Do you know why it's going to drag? How long does it take for oil prices to go up for you to see gas prices go up? So who buys oil? You don't buy crude. Let me ask you that. A barrel of crude. You might buy some oil at the gas station. But who buys crude? Refiners. So the refiners are the ones. So oil's gone up, right? 25 to 40. Someone's had to have paid them the $40. Then what do? They crack it. Do you guys know how to crack oil? You probably don't want. Do you even want to know how to crack oil? You want me, Uncle Wayne, to do a quick lesson? All right, let me get my drawing tool going. All right, so you have a refiner, right? And he's got a big facility that looks like this, right? And right, and it's the size of a spaceship. And then what? There's a big tower like this, right? And what this does is they heat it up. They heat it up. Hot, 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 hot. Boiling, 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 hot, hot, hot oil. Boiling oil. Throw some chicken in there, right? All right. So what happens during the heating process? Heavy stuff falls to the bottom. You got something like tar. What do you use tar for? You throw that out in the garbage? What do you use tar for? Roads. Okay? The stuff at the top, jet fuel, for example. Right? Here, maybe gasoline. Oops, oh, this is hard. Okay, gasoline. And here's like, I don't know, makeup. Oops. It's so hard to write, then it's hard to spell because I'm so focused on writing. Okay, makeup. Down here, what? Plastic. So on and so forth. You kind of get the idea, right? And all you have to do is siphon off these levels. So a little pipe goes like this. Bloop. This goes to plastic. Bloop. This goes to tar for roads. Bloop. This goes for gasoline. Bloop. This goes for things like lipstick and so on and so forth. And jet fuel. Beep, beep, and they, right? And I guess somewhere in there is oil. Oil, let's put down here, right? Refined oil. So you can do, if you're a futures trader, you could do a crack spread, okay? Because oil prices are coming down, so you short oil. But you believe gasoline prices are going to go up because they bought oil last week, they're refining it this week, and then they're going to sell it to the gas station next week. So gasoline prices are going to go up. So you short oil and you long gasoline futures. And that would be an example of crack spreads. Another one would be long soybeans, short soybean meals, right? Soybean meal, so on and so forth. Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. Makeup, chapstick, just pure petroleum. Absolutely. There's all kinds of stuff all kinds of stuff in here. Yeah, honestly, there might be 1,000 different things that come out of here. And we broke it down like 11%. So we did this at Harvard somewhere, like 11%, I think, is gasoline, and 9% is oil, and you start breaking it down, and what do you get in a 42-gallon barrel drum, and we break it all down and all that kind of stuff. But they didn't teach me this. This is too blue collar for Harvard. This crap I picked up somewhere else. But interesting stuff anyways. Never make. Oh, seriously? Yeah, if that scares you, Jenna, yeah, do some Googling and find out where makeup products come from. Quite seriously, guys, a huge chunk of our world comes from petroleum products. So, like, the food you eat, where does the fertilizer come from? And most people will say cows, right? Leaves. No, it comes from nat gas, petrochemicals and stuff like that. The methane, what do you think nat gas is? Methane, right? But then what else is there? There's nitrogen, and then there's so on and so forth. So the clothes that you're wearing, the food that you eat is either grown in a petroleum product or sprayed with chemicals, petroleum products, and the stuff on your face, the stuff in your hair, the stuff that you're driving, the stuff that you're touching, the thing you're sitting on right now. I mean, your clothes are probably, what's PVC? You ever see PVC pipes in your, that they used maybe in your sprinkler system in your house, or to carry certain things like your waste through your house, or PVC? You know what PVC is? Nylon. Your socks are probably PVC. Your shirt's probably PVC. Right? Just like, it's ridiculous. Almost everything to be true in your life is probably based on a barrel of oil. And then it all goes to the oceans. Yeah, don't worry about it, Nick. We're all going to die. Might as well die rich, Nick. So you can support your charitable your causes and stuff. Yeah, I sit on boards for charities, man. So, get involved. So here we go. So that's that. Wow. There, the zoo. Oh, yeah, here's what I want to say. Retail sales auto. So what I predict is, right, you're going to see things like PPI start to go up, and then a little bit of CPI, but things like retail sales. Because if fuel prices go up, let's say 10%, next week, It won't happen this week, right? So let's say next week they start talking about oil prices up 10%. Guess what? You spend 10% more at the gas station. Retail sales go up. How much? How much? How much do gas stations sell every month in your country? Right? It's an amazing amount, right? Even more than t-shirts, right? Right? So that's why they try to strip it out. But anyways, you're going to see that. Unemployment claims, good, fine. Yeah, on trend, be fine. Don't worry about it. Durable goods, incredibly volatile. And Japanese CPI, I don't think anyone's even going to be around. I'll be swimming in the Persian Gulf. And I'll say, dang, life is awesome. I'll be doing backstrokes in the Persian Gulf. And I'll look down, oh, there's some pearls, yay! And then I'll go walk down the streets of gold. Will you be with me? Will you be my love? Okay, so I guess we got to do COT. Why is it important difference between transportation not in durable goods? Okay, Miles, good question. There used to be a time if the United States economy started to slow down, the president of the United States would call Saudi Arabia and say, hey, Saudi Arabia, buy some 747s from Boeing. And they're like, yeah, we don't need it anymore. And they're like, no, come on, dude. You got to buy some. We need you. Buy some 747s. All right, we'll buy some more 747s. So they call it Boeing. All right, we'll take a couple of $1 billion more 747s. And then boom, the economy was good again. Woohoo! Right? We also did things like, hey, Egypt, how's it going with, 20 million people in poverty? Or 100 million, whatever it is. It's an amazing amount of population in Egypt. How's it going? You got enough food to keep all the rioters at bay? I'll tell you what, we'll send you a whole bunch of wheat and a whole bunch of rice, and you buy some Boeing 747s. And we'll throw in some fighter planes, but they won't have any spare parts, so yeah. All right, so go ahead, buy some fighter planes from us, great. Buy some 747s from us, great. And then we'll send you a bunch of rice and a bunch of wheat, and it'll be all good. Totally, that's how it ran, guys. Nick says, did it really happen that way? So most people know that Israel received most international aid from the United States. They were by far number one. You know who number two was? Egypt. We also tend to buy a lot of airplanes for some reason, because Egyptians fly a lot, I guess. But guess what? California, I think, is like the second largest producer of rice in the world. Like, it's crazy. Like, really? California? Huge. If it's not number two, I mean, it's hard to think that they would produce more than Vietnam and stuff. But whatever. Let's just say they produce a lot of rice. When for Egypt? Nasser? No, after Nasser. Right? Mubarak, for example. So that's how the United States kept the peace for a very long time, right? After, because Nasser really, after the Yom Kippur War of what was that, 67? 67, yeah. After the Yom Kippur War, and boy, why are you guys getting me into the geopolitics of the Middle East? I'm just a Canadian boy from Saskatchewan. But anyways, yeah, after that, you know, NASA ended up losing a lot of power because it didn't really kind of backfired a little bit. But anyways, long story short, I'm talking more like 80s and 90s and all that kind of stuff. So why do they strip airplanes and stuff out of durable goods? Because of just that. So if you strip it out, here's how I used to use durable goods, and see, fundamentally a lot has changed over the last 5 years. So you have to kind of roll with the punches. So in the past, okay, previous to the financial crisis of 2008, okay, let's say go back 10 years. Okay, 10 years ago, I would look at durable goods, X transportation, and what was left is what I considered GE profile. Remember that was the big thing in the late '00s, right? 2005. You had to, if you're buying a new house, you had to be a big dog, right? GE profile appliances. That's all they wanted. Hey, you can get Sub-Zero and Wolf if you're really on the high end. But like, if you didn't have GE profile, you were scum. Scum. I can't buy this house. Look at the appliances, right? So anyway, so you bought GE profile stove, GE profile fridge, GE profile dishwasher, GE profile trash compactor, and you had the whole complete set. And that's how I looked at it. It was a way to gauge retail spending, but also the real estate industry. Because people were buying houses, fixing them up, and flipping them. So you buy a house, blow out a whole bunch of walls, open, spacious floor plan, look at our nice, beautiful kitchen with granite countertops, and GE profile fridge, and refrigerator, and stove, and dishwasher, and it all matches, and we got the built-in coffee maker, and woohoo! You buy this house, and the house would sell in 2 hours for 10% more than asking. Cash. That's just how it was in America for a while, for a long time, right? And then all of a sudden, well, that business model's a little old, right, Miles? And guess what? In 2009, during the financial crisis, GE sold their GE profile unit and got rid of it. So the world went topsy-turvy. Like, what appliances do I need to buy now? Sub-Zero fridges? I looked at a Sub-Zero fridge. I was going to buy a house that had, it was huge, just ridiculous, unbelievable house. But the appliances and so a lot of things, it was older, so it needed a lot of everything. And it had a double-wide commercial fridge and a place for a freezer. And I'm like, what is this going to cost? And it was like, I'm not joking, like a $25,000 fridge. I'm like, what? The fridge was bigger than a golf cart. Just put it that way. I'm like, what am I going to do with that? Like, that's a lot of food. Better have 9 more kids. Oh, yeah. Can I tell you a quick story? This is way off topic again. I bought some competition firewood. Did you even know there was such a thing? Competition firewood. I'm like, what the hell is that? Like, oh, well, if you're a serious barbecue guy and you go to barbecue competitions for pork or ribs or, whatever, you have to have competition kiln-dried wood. I'm like, what? And they're like, yeah, we're the only FDA-approved processor of competition firewood this side of the Mississippi. I'm like, what? I'm totally into this. You're FDA approved competition firewood. This is like the best firewood in like the world. I'm like, oh, I'll take 2 pallets, have it delivered, right? So anyways, so they delivered by truck and it's all shrink wrapped and, it was great, Oh, it was great. And they're dropping it off and I'm like, wow, what kind of idiot buys this kind of stuff besides me? And he's like, someone just bought 52 pallets and had it shipped to northern Wisconsin. I'm like, what? Like, they don't have wood in Wisconsin? I mean, if you don't know anything about America, Wisconsin, southern Wisconsin is just wheat fields. Northern Wisconsin, forest. Like, what kind of idiot buys wood from Georgia and has it shipped to Wisconsin to his hideout in the forest in Wisconsin? What's wrong with the Wisconsin forest wood? And he said, well, he's preparing for the end of the world. It's coming soon. And he needs 52 weeks, and he's going to live one pallet of wood per week. I'm like, oh, good. Well, does he live in a nice house? I'll make him a fair offer. I'll give him 5 cents on the dollar. So anyways, yeah. So just amazing. Just amazing. Yeah, I didn't even know there was a competition firewood, but I got it. And let me tell you, whew, burns hot and steady. Holy smokes. This is kind of stuff where if you put it in your smoker, if you don't have a good enough smoker, the smoker will melt. So, okay, let's go through the world of Forex here. The euro, so good. Double check March 14. Okay, that's good. So we're update. Okay, so just remember this came out Tuesday of last week. It's the most up-to-date data provided by the U.S. government. Just a reminder of what this is. A lot of this is extrapolated too. So we're looking at non-hedging. That means they're in it to make money. So there's a pretty nice way that the government designed this. If you have large positions in the market, I forget what the definition of it, like, so you trade like what, 10,000 lots, $10,000 lots or $100,000 lots. I think it's like if you're in over 10 million or 100 million, I can't remember what it was. You get to this point where you're basically institutional, right? And so if you're a large institutional player, you have to report your positions to the U.S. government. Now, this is U.S. futures, so this is all going to be currency futures relative to the U.S. dollar because it's in the United States, so you pay dollars for it, right? So U.S. futures in the futures market on the exchange, so it's not cash Forex, but it's good proximity. Okay, this is what professionals use. And there's lots of different, so anyway, so it's reportable, right? These are large institutional positions. Now we can still figure out what your position, but this comes reportable. I'll just write that down for some reason. Get into the college professor thing, right? So it's reportable to the U.S. government, and then the U.S. government wants to break this down because we also know total volume, right? So you know the total volume because the exchange knows that, right? How many contracts are long, how many contracts are short? Well, we know what that is. So then we say, okay, well, let's know the reportable, and that's all large positions in the market, long and short. And then you say, hey, but some do use the futures market simply to hedge, right? You're a user of the underlying commodity. You're going to buy oil, you're going to buy wheat, you're going to short the euro because you're worried about the euro going down because you're doing business somewhere else that's going to pay you euro. And you need to lock in today's price into the future. And if you're worried about in the future the euro going down, then when you actually get paid in the future, you've lost money and it's no good. So you're going to hedge by selling. So if the value of the euro goes down and in the future you get paid with weaker euro, you've offset those losses because you've made money because you were short euro futures. That's actually what the market's designed for. So we can then say, well, how do we figure out who's hedging? then the government says, well, we understand you're in the market and you're large in the market, big positions in the market, but you're not trying to make money. You're trying not to lose money. So we will tax you differently on profits and losses in the foreign exchange market. You see what I mean? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So now we got hedgers. So we know who they are. Oops. Okay. Who are the non-hedgers now? Everyone else that had to report. So non-hedgers. Okay. And I'll go boom, boom. So you have hedgers that are reporting, non-hedgers that are reporting, but is going to add up to the total? Oh, thank you, Kenny. Appreciate that. Kenny says thanks for congratulations on winning Speaker of the Year. Appreciate it, dude. It's I put in, right? I put in a little effort, and then you put in effort through loyalty, and so it's really us. Okay, so anyways, it's not anyone because we don't have retail, right? So how do you do that? You take the total X minus, let's say, Y and Z, and there should be a number left, and you get R, retail, right? So R equals what? X minus Y minus Z, right? And that's how you figure out dumb money. Cool, right? Nice design, right? Oh, Artem says nice interview at the at the LAR at FX3. Yeah, thank you. Cool. Oh, you want the name of my book? Strategic and Tactical Forex Trading. The idea of having a strategy first and then executing the strategy. Okay. So that's how we get this. Hey, bring it to Dubai, bring it to South Africa, bring it to China, and I'll sign it. Okay, so anyways, let's move forward here. One thing you can look at right away is the net. Okay. Then you say, so price went up. You can see over 2 weeks, price went up. You look at the longs, less people long, less people short. Net down. A lot less interest in the Euro USD right now. Trading volume down. Just not that interesting anymore. Goldman Sachs did say, what, today or this weekend, that they're staying long US dollar. So the theory is they're going to look to continue to short Euro USD. Great Big Pig. What's going on the Great Big Pig? The GBP. Okay. Seem to be some interest here. What's going on? How many people long pound? Oh, snap. Now, does that look significant? Nobody knew, no new shorters here. So it's all about this here. Now, the interesting, bizarre, random luck of this is that is what we talked about, no joke, a year ago, actually a little more than a year ago, happening near the end of the first quarter. Huh, well, that's a coincidence. And we did clearly talk about it, break it down fundamentally and technically and all these different things. So if it's random luck, it wow, just an unbelievable coincidence. How close are we to the end of the third? How close are we to the end of the first quarter? 9 days. Well, so that's not bad, right? 13 or 14 month heads up. Interesting. So it looks like a lot of people bought pound and nobody shorted it. Okay, cool. Still technically, so what we got to do is make sure we understand, you know, where neutrality lies. So there's the neutral zone. The market is still net short. Okay, but one of the things I look here is I look at this. Did the short positions get out? Yeah, Kenny. Well, I didn't know about that. Obviously, 13 months ago, there's no way I would have known that, right? But let's put this. Let's talk about this. Okay, this is a little advanced, but let's go into this. If I saw the shorts drop and the longs do nothing, what does it tell me to do? There was a short squeeze, price went up, but no one actually bought it. No, 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 no. It would tell me get ready to short again. Get ready, because no one's buying, but price is going up. Why? Because all the sellers are taking profit. At some point, we're going to dump it again. And by the way, we did this on the Euro USD. Right? It went up 1,000 pips, down 1,000 pips, and we called it on the way up, and we called it on the way down. So now, this is different. Price is going up. No, right? There's no one getting out of their short positions yet. Well, what if we hit their stops? And the reason it's going up is people are actually buying it. It's not short covering, guys. It's not short covering. It's not short covering. It's not short covering. Short covering. You know, how do you like them apples? That's Goodwill Hunting, right? It's not short covering. Yeah, I know. It's not short covering. Yeah, I know. It's not short covering. I know. It's not short covering. Oh, I know. Come give Daddy a big hug. It's not short covering. Right? How do you like them apples? Boom. That's like the third movie quote today. Okay. Ryan wants to know what is short covering. Oh. Okay, Ryan. Let's say you shorted $1,000,000 in Great British Pound. Okay. And it's falling. How do you feel? Okay. All of a sudden, price starts going up. And you're making money, but now you're losing your profit. You're not losing money, you're just losing profit. What do you do? So what do you do? Take profit. So they call it short covering or they call it profit taking, either way. Okay, one or the other. How do you get out of your short position? You say close. What does your broker do? Buy. So anyways, at the end of, let's say, a week or two, sometimes, and this happened on the Euro USD, guys, Euro USD went up 1,000 pips. And you know what happened? Nobody bought it. This is when we were down at like 105 and it went back to 115. Nobody bought it. And I clearly showed you on Commitment to Traders report that for about 2 weeks straight, Euro USD went up and up and up. And every time we looked at it, no one is buying it. No one is buying it. No one is buying it. Get ready to sell it. Get ready to sell it. And it came all the way back down. You're welcome. It was going up because people that were short were taking profit, which would knock this guy out, which would knock this guy out, which would knock this guy out. But no one was actually buying. People were just exiting their shorts. Okay? Short covering. They were covering their short positions. Okay? In stark contrast, everyone is buying and nobody is selling. Eventually, what happens when these guys get knocked out of their positions? Suddenly, this will drop because there'll be less open positions that are short. And there'll be, maybe there won't be any more longs, but there'll be less shorts, and price will be even higher. And it'll look more and more bullish because there'll be less and less bears, less and less bears, less and less bears. But there's a lot more bulls in this market than there used to be, right? And Marina should at least sit up and take notice and say, ooh, that's interesting. Because did we have another week like that this year? No. How about last year? No. How about the year before? This is the biggest week in like 3 years, 4 years? I don't know. It's like huge. Okay? So it's just very interesting. It's just a red flag saying, holy smokes, if you were a bear, maybe it's the end of the train's pulling into the station here. Right? And you should either get on board, but you should get off the tracks. Pretty advanced stuff, guys. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. Cool thing is, it's not like a PowerPoint presentation where we talk about what happened in 2011 and if you had only had known. It's more like this is what's happening now. This is the most recent data we're talking about now. And that was statistically important. How about that? All right, yen. Very neutral, right? But look at this, a drop here. Less bulls, tiny bit more bears. So, no real change. Let's not try to make something out of nothing, right? It's not CNBC, is it? Oh my God, look at that. What does that mean? I mean, it's the end of the world. Hey, we have 2 expert guests to talk about how that is really important. Oh my God, did you see that? Let me tell you, the dot plot should change at the Fed, and just if you look at that. So anyways, okay. Fische. Okay, if you look, price is coming down, very little change. Here, a little more, obviously, net longs. But again, nothing to make a big stink about. Aussie dollar. Okay, giant increase in price here from 70 way up to 75. Okay, what's going on? Less bears, 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 less bears. 8 weeks of less bears? Sounds like an old man easing into a hot bath. Right? But just recently, a significant decrease in bulls. Okay? Whoop. Technically, we are now net long. If you ever hear that in the market, in the newspapers on TV, oh, the market's net long. That means there are more buyers than sellers. Okay? There had been a pretty steep increase here. If you look at this point, this gray are buyers. Oops, come on. Okay? These are buyers, 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 and then, oh, we lost some buyers. Okay? Down, 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 down. Looks like a little bit of profit taking, maybe on Aussie dollar or Aussie yen, maybe we buy some dips. Okay? Well, maybe. That's your call. Remember, this only gets updated once a week. So it's your call, but you could say, well, based on the Equipment and Traders report, my strategy is buying dips, right? Or at least it sounds good. Kiwi, net long, decrease in bears, decrease in bulls, interest rate cut. Okay. So some people were front running, right? I'm looking at this area here. People were buying the Kiwi, 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 interest rate cut. And most of them basically broke even, right? If they were long here, they're gone here. Oh, look at the eagle chicks. Oh, look at the eagle chicks. Ugh. Reese Witherspoon. Oh, we went from hero to zero in 2 seconds. All right. Keith Urban? Please. All right, here we go. What's going on here, kitty cat? Kitty cat? Kitty cat? Woo. Hoo, hoo, hoo. A lot of people were very short kitty cat. They're a lot less short kitty cat. Maybe a bottom in oil. What if that was for oil, huh? Be interesting, right? What do you think? Isn't that interesting? What if this was, these are net positions here, okay? What if this was the price of oil going up? What this is a net change in position for the CAD. So to get this trend, what you're doing is you're taking bears minus bulls. then it's a positive number, I guess. Or, well, because the reason I say it that way is because we're below the water line. Okay, we're still net short. So mostly bearish, but we're losing bears. So it's becoming a positive number, and that's why it's going up. But what if we were just saying when the net positions in the CAD market, Canadian dollar futures market, right, at the Chicago Board of Trade, I believe it is. Is that where they do currency futures? May not be actually. CBOT. NYMEX? No, NYMEX is what? Oh, I don't know. Actually, I don't know. Is it New York or is it Chicago? Is it CME? Chicago. Yeah, okay. Yeah, when I was there, I hung out at the S&P 500 pit and the 10-year T-note pit. So anyways, wouldn't this be an interesting proxy for oil? Okay, because price going down, what does this mean? Canadian dollar actually going up, right? So you could look at this as maybe oil's going up. So when did we hit the $26 bottom? You know, that kind of thing. It's interesting. What happened first? I don't know. It's just interesting, right? So we talked about neuro-linguistic programming having a quarterly, a weekly, and a daily routine, like professional athletes and fighter pilots and so on and so forth. We talked about how commitment of traders report was calculated and how they differentiate between smart money, dumb money, and everybody else. Hedging money, those are the professionals, right? And we went through the calendar. Boy, a lot of stuff going on today. So that was an hour and 15 minutes. So basically I ran out of time. But tomorrow, how about we do technical analysis, and then some technical analysis? What do you stink? Smell like a plan? Yeah, Jenna, I usually do the singing and stuff when I'm so dog tired that I'm living off of adrenaline. And I'm on the edge of, I never quite cross, but I'm on the edge of, insanity. Living on the edge. There, that's for you. Yeah, we changed time 2 weeks ago, dude. Something like that. Oh, is that right? You got big hands, a big whoop whoop to Jenna. Cool. Whoop 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 whoop. Appreciate that. I haven't seen it, but we'll see. I haven't been around. I've been traveling. So peace on earth. May the pips be with you. May your profits be above average. And take care of yourself. You hear? I'll upload the video to YouTube now. Give it a like. Cheers.